Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm April Knight, in for Sandra Gumansing. Topping our newscast, they're fighting fire with policy. Lawmakers on Thursday took on rampant gun violence with two pieces of legislation meant to regulate the possession and use of firearms in the territory. And with amendments in the legislation, perpetrators are also facing much higher penalties. Here's more from the Senate. On Thursday, the Senate made a stand against gun violence in the Virgin Islands. They approved a bill that would create special requirements for those who want to carry concealed weapons. According to lawmakers, Bill number 31-0046 would not interfere with an American's Second Amendment right to bear arms. Under the bill, the applicant has to fall under certain categories, including being a business owner, a person having to carry money for business or an employer, or a victim of a violent crime. There would also be a check of local and federal criminal history records before a license is issued. The bill also forces the VI Police Department to respond within a specific amount of time, in this case 14 days, to respond to an application once a request for a license is filed. The Senate also passed a measure criminalizing the possession of unlicensed assault rifles. Bill number 31-0027, sponsored by Senator Samuel Sanis, defined the term assault rifle in addition to specifically criminalizing the unlicensed possession of the weapon. It also eliminates the possibility for probation or parole for the unauthorized possession or use of an unlicensed weapon. Senator Kenneth Gittens also submitted an amendment adding stronger penalties. Those guilty of illegal gun possession can face up to 10 years in prison and a minimum fine of $10,000. Illegal possession of a machine gun, assault rifle, or sawed-off shotgun can lead to 10 to 15 years in prison, and if caught with these weapons in the commission of a crime, those penalties can jump to 20 to 25 years in prison. The bills will be sent to the governor's office for approval. And in response to the spate of gun-related violent crime this week, Governor Mapp placed the territory's peace officers under the command of Police Commissioner Delroy Richards. The executive order was signed December 15th, but peace officers reported for duty on the 16th, Wednesday. At the police commissioner's request, Governor Mapp also placed former police chief Winsbert McFarland under Richards' command, specifically to head special operations. The peace officers will serve in this capacity indefinitely. They'll be supporting various crime-curbing initiatives by the police department. Well, earlier this morning at 3:47 a.m., an ATM machine was stolen from directly in front of the Gateway gas station in Annis Hope on St. Croix. Surveillance footage from the gas station shows that the thief drove a white SUV and may have been accompanied by another individual. A Gateway gas station employee stated that the attendant on duty at the time was making coffee while the crime occurred within the 30-second time span. The Gateway employee went on to state that the attendant on duty immediately contacted the police. Then they arrived 5 minutes after receiving the call. The Virgin Islands Police Department is investigating this crime, and if you have any information, you can contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. In police reports, a second arrest has been made in the shooting at Hala Hala nightclub on St. Thomas. An arrest warrant was executed on Thursday, December 17th, for Adoa Fleming, 24 years of age, of Altona, who was formally charged with accessory after the fact and misprision of a felony in connection with the October 24th, 2015 murder of Raj Kumari Hendrickson at the nightclub on St. Thomas. Fleming was unable to post the $250,000 bail and was remanded to the Bureau of Corrections pending his advice of rights hearing. Well, members of the 31st Legislature assembled in a special session at the Capitol building on Thursday. All Virgin Islands senators voted unanimously for Bill number 31-0252, the Uniform Interstate Family Support Act, which is one of the Uniforms Act drafted by the National Conference of Commissioners on uniform state laws in the United States. The Uniform Interstate Family Support Act was developed in 1992 and revised in 1996 and again in 2001. The act limits the jurisdiction that can properly establish and modify child support obligations within the United States. Senate President Neville James expressed concerns regarding complaints from citizens that reached out to his office. Senator James stated, "It is the opinion of many parents," he said, that although child support monies are being deducted from their paychecks, the monies are not received by the other parent. Meanwhile, the Lieutenant Governor's office says beware of counterfeit bills. The fake bills could be $10, $20, $50, and $100 notes. If you suspect you have a counterfeit bill, you can take it to a local bank, which will then retain the bill and give you a receipt for it. There are various ways to tell if a bill is fake. The color of the Treasury seal does not match, for example, the color of the serial number, the lack of tiny red and blue fibers embedded in the paper. You can also use an iodine-based pen on a bill. It will turn black or blue if the bill is fake. For more information, you can go to www.ltg.gov.vi. Well, Governor Kenneth Mapp is definitely not homeless anymore if the Senate gets its way. On Thursday, the Senate voted 13-2 that the government would lease the property right next to Government House on St. Thomas and make that the official governor's residence on the island. Some lawmakers, including Senators Nelson and Gittins, did express concern about whether or not the Senate can pass such legislation, which would require the West Indian Company to pay for the parcels and the needed security measures. That will be deducted from WICO's $5.9 million pilot payment debts to the government. Turning our attention stateside, for the first time, charges have been filed in connection to the San Bernardino attacks. Earlier this month, a husband and wife team killed 14 people before they died in a gun battle with police. Now, Enrique Marquez, a friend of one of the attackers, is in custody and facing 3 charges. Mary Maloney explains.
Enrique Marquez has been at the heart of the San Bernardino terror investigation, giving information about the husband and wife killers Syed Rizwan Farouk and Tashfeen Malik.
At this point in the investigation, Marquez can supply a lot of information. That's a critical thing, is that he can fill in a lot of blanks about a time period that electronically the FBI may not be able to recover at this point.
Marquez allegedly confessed to giving Farouk 2 rifles, weapons used in the attacks that killed 14 people. While Marquez told authorities he did not know about the San Bernardino terror plans, officials say he did admit to plotting 2 other terror attacks with Farouk. According to investigators, the friends and one-time neighbors conspired in 2011 and 2012. They wanted to strike a library or cafeteria at a community college, their alma mater. Investigators say the pair also talked about throwing pipe bombs on a busy freeway and shooting at stopped cars. Those attacks never took place. Marquez is also accused of entering into a sham marriage with a member of Farouk's family. After more than a week of questioning by the FBI, prosecutors charged Marquez with providing support to terrorism, lying about weapons, and immigration fraud. I'm Mary Maloney, reporting.
Keeping an eye on the economy, here's a look at our New York Stock Exchange with our Stock Market Watch. Look at the numbers there. Everything down. The Dow down 370, NASDAQ down 79, S&P down 36. Coming up on NEWS2, events to add to your Christmas social calendar, plus the most popular holiday event for shoppers and revelers on St. Thomas. We have a sneak peek coming up next. Welcome back. If you happen to be downtown today, you may have noticed a festive atmosphere in the air. The St. Thomas St. John Chamber of Commerce's annual Miracle on Main Street has arrived, and Branson Dillon gives us a look at some of the preparations for the big event, but more on the Emancipation Garden side of things. We'll have more on the actual Main Street action on Monday. Here's more.
There's nothing quite like spending the holiday season on the beautiful island of St. Thomas. And the St. Thomas, St. John Chamber of Commerce is helping to bring people together with the 23rd annual Miracle on Main Street.
Highly anticipated. It's a great event for families. People reconnect that haven't seen each other in months or years even. But my favorite part, honestly, would be just seeing the number of people that come out having a good time. Whether it's enjoying the boat show or the vendors or different groups of entertainment or shopping, it's seeing downtown packed with people at night.
Many of the vendors say this event means more than simply trying to generate more business.
We do events like this because this is historical. This is also part of our culture here. I think it brings love, family, togetherness. That's the best thing about the holidays.
Reporting for TB2 at the Emancipation Garden in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, I'm Branson Dillon.
Miracle on Main Street is still in full swing right now. Earlier around 6 p.m., several boats all decked out in vibrant Christmas lights painted the Charlotte Amalie Harbor in explosions of color. And it's a contest, so somewhere on land or at sea, secret judges looked out for the most original designs, best use of lights, and best Christmas theme. They are judged on a 5-point system based on those criteria. We'll have the winner of the St. Thomas Lighted Boat Parade for you on Monday. Well, there's a merry, joyful, and giving spirit at the Virgin Islands. Here this season, the staff and agents of Remax Real Estate Company donated a fully decorated Christmas tree to Juan Louis Hospital on St. Croix. The tree was one of the several featured at the 40th annual Christmas Spoken Here event, held at the St. George Village Botanical Garden on St. Croix. Meanwhile, the Virgin Islands Christmas season continues with many activities to enjoy. On Saturday, December 19th, the Coquito Festival will be held at the Lorraine Chicken Shack between 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. There will be 15 contenders competing in the Coquito competition and music by Quell Bay ambassadors, Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights, the Coolie Band, and the Joey Hernandez Band featuring Hector Tricoche from Puerto Rico. On Sunday, December 20th, local ice cream makers Armstrong Ice Cream will be hosting Guava Berry Day at their shop located in Wim on St. Croix. That's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Local dishes such as red pea soup and callaloo, as well as guava berry rum tarts and sweet bread will be available. Governor Kenneth Mapp made holiday leave for government workers official. Government office closures over Christmas and New Year include full and half-day closures. Christmas Eve is a half-day with government offices closing at 1 p.m. All district offices will be closed Christmas Day, and the St. Croix district will remain closed on December 30th. Another half-day for New Year's Eve, and all government offices will be closed on Christmas Day and January 6th. For Three Kings Day. St. Croix's Juve Festival kickoff is Wednesday morning, December 30th, followed by Crucian Festival, followed by Food, Arts, and Crafts Fair and parades on January 1st and 2nd. The Virgin Islands government is saying thank you to its employees this holiday season, and in order for government workers to attend some employee appreciation activities, some agency offices were and will be closed. The Department of Justice's St. Thomas office was closed today, Friday, December 18th, and 12 noon. They're back in business on Monday. On St. Croix, they will be closed on Wednesday, December 23rd. Also at 12 noon, they'll be back Thursday, December 24th. Meanwhile, the Department of Finance's St. Croix and St. Thomas offices were also closed on Friday. Normal business hours will resume on Monday, December 21st at 8 a.m. Meanwhile, Crucian Christmas Carnival events continue with the theme Past, Present, and Future Scenes Carnival 2015-2016. Another royalty will be selected this weekend on December 20th, also at the Island Center, and starting at 5 p.m., the three will compete for the Miss St. Croix pageant, and here are the contenders for the prestigious crown. Contestant number 1, Keosha Quinn, contestant number 2, Isabella Sylvester, and contestant number 3, Khalifa Antoine. Miss St. Croix 2014-2015, Anumat Davies Kahina will hand over the crown to the winner. Stick around, your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.